Hey everyone, it's Dane again. I've got something fun to do tonight, and my buddy Dave Long over at Retro Game Boards sent me his Sega CDX to fix up. Now basically he's having the reset issue, and usually when that's going on, it is because it needs new caps. So tonight we're going to crack this thing open, replace the caps, and get it working good as new, which is pretty exciting for me. I have never gotten into a Sega CDX before, so this should be fun. Alright, well we have our Sega CDX here. Now, okay, so these are pretty small Phillips head screws, so let's go ahead and this Wera screwdriver here ought to do it. Alright, there's one, and I'm actually going to get out a tray to keep everything in just so I don't lose any pieces or get anything mixed up with anything else. Alright, there's one more. Okay. Looks like we have another Phillips head over here that's smaller. A couple of those actually. Well, I don't see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Those may have to come out as well. Okay, well, I'm going to pull those too. That same screwdriver may work. This one is just below the volume knob. Much smaller screws. And this one is over next to the line out. Which is actually quite a bit longer. It's interesting, these aren't all the same. And this last one here is over next to the AV out, which is another short one. Okay, looks like we did have to take those out. Oh, there's one more in the back. Okay, and that is right next to the battery indicators on the back. And I don't know what's going on with my voice tonight. Sorry about that. It is really beat up. But I got this new Yeti mic, so you can hear how beat up my voice is and crystal clear audio. Okay, there we go. So actually the bottom comes off separate from the top of the shell, which is good to know. Whoa, this is different. Okay, so it looks like these bits are soldered on here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I think just to get this big ground plane off, I'll need to desolder those bits right there. That's different. I've never seen one like that before. Fire up my soldering iron here. Huh, yeah, this is different. I don't know if anybody's ever been in this thing before from when it was originally manufactured, but it's kind of funny. It's got a bunch of fingerprints on there. All right, there's one. There's two. There's three. Okay. Okay, so that just lifts out. I just don't know if this is connected anyplace else. I'm just trying to be gentle with it. So it looks like they have just a small bit of adhesive around each of those screw holes as well. Okay, yeah, it was glued to the battery in there. Just has a real light adhesive. Interesting. Okay, so there's our ground plane. This is crazy. I've never seen anything quite like this one so far. So we have a couple of wires here that are also going to need to be desoldered. That looks like they're running to a board further up if I want to be able to get this out. So I'll go ahead and desolder those. Try to do this in a way so I'm not crossing over the camera there. There we go. Just a quick bit of contact there. Just leave this over here. All right, so looks like we have 4 big screws. Although that just looks like those are holding in the controller ports. And it looks like these really small screws back here are securing the board. So I'm going to do these little ones first, then see about these bigger ones over here. All right, those are a little bit longer as well. This is cool. Such an interesting piece of hardware from late in the life cycle of the Sega Genesis. Alright, so I can't quite tell if that's the only thing holding that board into place. Again, you always want to be gentle here. You know what, I think I am going to unscrew these and then sort of push this little tab back, because I can't quite tell if these controller ports are secured into this board here or if they're on the board that's up a little bit. Now I also have a couple of those real small screws down here at the bottom. That looks like that's securing a different board, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these big screws. Yeah, I think maybe those were what was securing the front of it. See, it kind of seems like this upper board wants to lift up. It definitely still feels like it's secured though. Interesting, I see another little screw set way down in there. Yeah, I'm not convinced about how those actually fit in there. Interesting. What am I missing? Okay, at a time like this, I think I'm going to go pull up some info on console5.com wiki. A lot of times they have, you know, illustrations. They actually have the original guides for how these things went together. That the manufacturers or even repair people would use. So I'm going to go check that out and see if there's something I'm missing. It's possible that I just need to pull up these two little screws. I don't know if you can see down in there. There's two little screws there. But I can't quite tell how this is secured, and I don't want to put any undue stress on anything. So I'm going to go check that out, and I will be right back. Okay, back to it. So turns out there wasn't anything else I needed to pull. I didn't even need to pull these other screws, apparently. So I'm actually going to pop those back in real quick. Or at least just one to secure this other side. All right, so apparently there's a 60-pin connector right here, and that's actually what is securing that into place. So we just need to pry it out with something flat, like so. And we're just going to do that gently. There we go. I think that just freed it up. Okay, so that is free. And you can see that there is a small connector on this back side here. I'm going to carefully grab that and pull. Having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of that with my finger. So I'm gonna get in there with a screwdriver, see if I can't get that to pop out. The problem is this board is actually kind of flexible where it connects here, so the board doesn't just want to let go. There we go. Okay. we are all good to go there. So I'm going to set that aside. Let's look at our main board here. Alright, so this is our power board. Oh yeah, look at this. It's like a couple tiny baby voltage regulators there by the look of it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 caps on the power board. I think that's just connected with this connector here in one cable. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect our power board. Okay, there's our power board, which is totally separate. Yeah, I haven't seen these before. I'm assuming that they're voltage regulators, but I haven't seen ones like that before. That's interesting. But this is an interesting console. Actually, a lot of the Sega stuff is kind of crazy. Like I've you know, like I've RGB modded a bunch of different Genesis consoles, and inside those, I mean, there's pretty massive differences just in motherboard revisions there. I've done a full recap on a Sega CD1, which is what you see playing in the background here. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on inside that thing. I've not recapped my Sega CD Model 2 yet, but I'll be doing that at some point in the future. But yeah, there's just always all kinds of crazy stuff going on with Sega hardware. So I'm going to set this power board aside for now. So yeah, there's like 6 caps on the main board. That looks simple. Let's go ahead and see what we have on the CD board here. Yeah, so basically this is your Sega Genesis unit here on this board. Then we have our Sega CD unit in this next board we will be getting to. So let's go ahead and remove this bit of shielding here. And actually, I'm going to just organize my space for a minute here. I'm going to set this main board and power board aside for the time being. Alright, let's go ahead and remove this shield here. A longer screw. Yeah, it's crazy how small these little Phillips screws are. They're in this. I'm used to encountering screws this size inside like Game Boys. I think there was some like this in a. I just finished up a refurb on a Game Gear, and it had some that are like this. I tell you, getting inside that Game Gear was really cool. Makes me want to do an LCD mod to one of those. So I might have one of those come in here before too long. Couple more screws. Yeah, they really had this thing skewered. That screw does not want to come out of there. Sorry for bumping the camera. There we go. So these little curved pliers have been so handy. I use them all the time working on this stuff. We have one that's up under this ground connector. It looks like we have our power button. It's basically hooked up to like a transfer bar here. That's interesting. Huh, cool, okay. Yeah, that looks like the bottom of a Sega CD, all right. This doesn't look like it's secured down with anything now, so I think I can lift this out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and desolder this ground plane bit as well. It's like connected with a pretty delicate resistor there, so I don't want to stand the chance of hurting that, so I'm just going to set that off to the side. Alright, seems like the trick is getting this side up over here. It's kind of hard to maneuver in there. Wonder if I can get gravity to help me here. Oh, I think I might see what part of the problem is. This headphone jack is pushing through the side of the plastic. And that will kind of keep it secured in place there. Yeah, man, they really have this thing packed in there. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. What may or may not be holding that in place. I don't see anything. So I'd expect this laser assembly to just sort of come back up through there. Okay, time to consult the guides again. Be right back. Alright, I should have just looked at the front of this thing. So this faceplate is kind of the culprit. So we just want to lift up on that and pull it out. Get that front off there. And now we should be able to get that CD board right out of there. Cool. All right, we'll set our housing aside. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of caps on here. Jeez. Looks like 22, 23. Yeah, like 23 caps on. No, 25. Yeah, like 25 caps on the CD board here. It's pretty cool to see it though. Here's our ribbon cable that connects our laser to the board. All right, so we want to make sure that we don't do anything that could potentially hurt that laser. So I'm gonna use these. We're just going to free up that ribbon cable there. Okay, it's not just connected there, it's also connected back here. You know what? And they've actually, oh man, they've like glued all this stuff down to the board. You know what? I think I am actually going to leave all of that in place and just be very delicate with it. In fact, I may go ahead and like captain tape the CD assembly down to the board just to keep it from sort of flopping around when I'm moving things. Because yeah, there are no caps that seem like they're going to interfere with things too much, except for maybe these guys here. These are going to be tough to get to. Man, that is a lot of really, really small stuff. Very doable. You just got to be careful, go slow. I'm just kind of trying to get the lay of the land here myself. Try to figure out what I want to do with this CD assembly. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pull that up. That just makes me a little bit nervous. Looks like I am going to have to move some tape here just to get at, just to be able to get at the feet of some of these caps. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do right now, it's something I advise that you do if you're going to be working on a lot of projects like this. When you get to a spot like this, especially when you're not like super familiar, like this is my first one. I've never done one of these before, so I'm not super familiar with it. Take a picture. You know, you get the thing open, take a picture of where you're at. So if I do decide like, hey, I want to pull this whole laser assembly off, I want to know what's connected where, you know, like how are these three connectors hooked up? Just things like that. You know, I find that that can be really helpful. So I'm actually going to snap a shot of this real quick. For future reference. Always helpful. Alright, word to the wise on any of these CD assemblies. These potentiometers here are tuned at the shop, so to speak, before they left the factory. And you get messing with those, you can cause that CD to stop working, or you can actually like overpower the laser, which can cause it to burn out faster. You don't want to do any of that. So I tend to never ever touch these if I don't have to. So for what it's worth. But yeah, you know, I think I'm going to leave this guy for last. What I'll probably do is go ahead and recap the main board tonight, and then do a follow-up video where we really get into the CD unit here, because this is going to take some doing right here. But the main board, that should be pretty straightforward. I might do the power board too, but all right, let's get over and do that now. Well, this is embarrassing. As it turns out, I do not have a Sega CDX cap kit on hand. I think I thought I did because I have like a dozen Genesis cap kits, but it turns out I forgot to order a CDX cap kit, so I'm going to go jump on console5.com and order that up right now. So I think that means that this was a part 1 disassembly of the CDX video, and you know, I hope you enjoyed learning how to do that with me. This was, you know, my first time doing this, so I was learning too. And yeah, I think that means next time we will jump into the main board, the power board, the CD board, get everything recapped, get it running good as new. And yeah, if you enjoyed doing this with me tonight, you know, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. And we'll catch you next time when we get doing, you know, the real work on this thing. So thanks for being here with me now.